Well, it's a very peculiar situation we find ourselves in. You often use the phrase two cheeks of the same arse, and dare say that in this occasion you've got two cheeks of the same arse. You've got find the Tories really under the spotlight, and unusually the Tory sympathetic press turning on Boris Johnson over these allegations. But Labour will too come under the spotlight. Now, whether that means that there could be upsets in places like Old Bexley in North Shropshire, we'll have to wait and see. The Liberal Democrats are bussing practically every activist that has a pulse to North Shropshire. They're out in every village every day, canvassing, running a really strong campaign there. They'll almost certainly finish second, but we could just find that it's Chesham and Amersham Mark II, this time not over planning, but over allegations of sleaze.
Whereas the challenge in Bexley and Sidcup is, as it were, from the Tories' right, from the Reform Party and its leader, Richard Tice.
Well, let's be quite clear. Richard Tice won't win the Old Bexley and Sidcup by-election. I'll quite happily eat your hat or a replica of your hat if Richard Tice were to win that by-election. That's how unlikely it is. But what we could see is the Tory vote splinter and let in Labour, unlikely to be the Liberal Democrats, but probably Labour down the middle there if the Tory vote is sufficiently split. Richard Tice is probably one of the only party leaders, maybe the Greens too, that can stand up and say, we are relatively clean in this mess. Even the Liberal Democrats in North Shropshire, Ed Davey, the Liberal Democrat leader, was on the radio earlier this week justifying his £85,000 worth of consultancy a year. His justification is that he has a severely disabled child that requires around-the-clock care, and so his £85,000 a year consultancy goes to his son's care. All very well and good, but let us not forget that when Ed Davey was in the coalition government, he repeatedly and continuously voted to cut benefits for disabled people, to introduce universal credit, and set the NHS on its privatisation path that we're down now.
Rather good point.